There it is. Dad, today was a great day. You know why it was a great day?
Because the Falcons lost, and that's it.
You're right, man. But Dad, do you know what happened in that game?
Falcons?
Yeah.
Well, I think Sam Darnold threw 5 touchdown passes.
They did. But that's not the only reason why I'm smiling right now. They had two Vikings wide receivers get over 130 yards. And you know why that is, Dad?
Because they suck.
Man, they suck so much. And last week you had Falcon fans saying, well, at least we're still number one in the division. Dad, if you check the standings right now, where are the Falcons at? Are they number one in the division?
No.
They're not. So you're telling me that they're laughing for no reason?
They laughing because if they didn't laugh, they would cry. Because that's what they need to do right now is cry in the middle of the street.
Yeah, bro. Well, speaking of that, man, let's get on to our – you know what, before that, because we don't really have time to talk about college football and we haven't done that, let's actually talk about that before we get into whatever this game was. Dad, let's look at the college football playoff bracket, and I want you to tell me, do you like it or not? All right.
All right. Hold on.
All right. Let me just pull the thing up.
Pull it up real quick. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are going to be controversial on it. I don't think the bracket was that bad, other than Arizona State being in. They were going to make it anyway, but I would have had Clemson have the bye over Arizona State. Let me see. All right, so the bracket. Okay, here we go. So these are the seeds. So Oregon, these are the bye teams. Oregon's at 1. Georgia is at 2. Boise State's at 3, and Arizona State's at 4. Dad, do you have any problem with those 4?
Yes.
All right, what's your problem?
And the problem isn't necessarily with these teams. The problem I have is just the way college football is way unbalanced. I mean, these teams are propped up to make them look good, and the bottom line is Boise State, Arizona State, SMU, Boise State, they're all going to get drilled in their first game. And it's not even going to be close. They're going to get drilled, and then people they're going to see that they didn't even belong in this top 12 field.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you look at it, Oregon, I have a question. Who does Oregon play? Who do they play? Ohio State? Penn State? Like, no LSU, no Bama, no I was about to say Missouri. Excuse me, they're trash. No South Carolina even. No Georgia. Man, Oregon, like, they're going to be number 1. I already knew that. But my biggest concern is, why did Clemson not get the bye over Arizona State? I understand Clemson's been wishy-washy, but I would have them get the bye over Arizona State. That's just me, though. But now let's get to these at-large spots. At number 5, you got Texas. Do you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay,
Texas
number
has been kicking butt in the SEC all year long,
Yeah.
They lost. The only team they lost to was Georgia, and they lost to them twice. And Georgia is the SEC champion and the number 2 seed. So, no, I have Texas definitely belongs up here in the top of this bracket.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like Texas would have probably been number one. Well, probably not, but they would have probably been number one or number two if they would have beaten Georgia. Maybe they would have jumped Oregon. Maybe. Number 6 is Penn State. Do you have a problem with that?
Penn State has played nobody this year.
Yeah, that's why I have a problem with it.
I mean, even in their own conference, they didn't even play the top 2 teams in the conference. They're playing nothing but the middle of the road teams and the bottom feeders. So that's what I don't understand. I don't know why we don't play more division, conference opponents throughout the year. I know they got like 18 teams in each conference now, which is crazy. You can't play everybody, but I think you need to play more of this conference and less, outside of the conference. I don't know.
Yeah. Number 7 is Notre Dame. Do you have a problem with that?
Talk to me when Notre Dame joins a conference. I mean, this makes no sense at all. Why am I getting excited about Notre Dame when they're playing like Army, Navy, and Air Force every freaking year? I don't care. Not interested.
Yeah. Number 8 was Ohio State. Do you have a problem with that?
Nope. They need to be in this field. They are one of the best teams in the league. Even though this season ended the way it did with everybody fighting and getting tased and stuff. But yeah, they belong in this field.
I mean, Ohio State, I'm not gonna lie, this year they have not been that good. I'm just gonna say that right now. But number 9, who will be facing Ohio State, got Tennessee. So do you have any problems with that?
No problems. They had some good wins this year. 1 or 2 bad losses, but they're right where they belong, I believe.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have no problem with that. They beat teams like Alabama. They beat Florida, I think. Yeah, they beat Florida. Their only one bad loss was to Arkansas, which Arkansas. They're an SEC opponent, so you never know how SEC games go. That's why I like SEC football more than Big Ten. Because in Big Ten, you know who it's going to be. You know it's going to be Ohio State. You know it's going to be Oregon. You know it's going to be Penn State. Because they don't play nobody. But for the SEC, Bama could lose every game. South Carolina, LSU could lose. Anybody could lose in the SEC, but anybody could win too. So that's why I love watching SEC. And that's why whenever Big Ten game's on, I'm not going to lie, I don't even care to flip the channel, even if it is a good game. Because I already know what's going to happen. But anyways, number 10, you got Indiana. Dad, you got any problems with this? Because I could go on a rant if I could.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, the first test that Indiana had, they got smoked. So they're like one of these bottom feeder teams that the schedule was just laid out for them just perfectly. So we can find, one of these less talented teams away to the playoffs. But yeah, I'm not impressed by Indiana.
I'm not gonna lie, Dad, I would have had South Carolina in before I had Indiana. Because South Carolina plays comp. South Carolina almost beat, at the time, 3 of the better SEC teams. Back when LSU was ranked, when Bama was on the high up, and even Texas A&M. So out of that South Carolina over Indiana, I need day of the week. Like, what are we doing with Indiana? They got blown out against the only good team that they played. But let's move on. Number 11, you got SMU, and they made it over Bama. I know a lot of people were skeptical about that. Do you like this ranking or not?
I don't. This is my biggest problem of the ranking. I mean, their top 3 best wins this year. They beat Louisville, beat Duke by 1 point, and beat a nationally ranked Pittsburgh team. Yay. I mean, I'm supposed to get excited about that. I mean, you talk about Bama, I know how people around here don't like Bama, but at least they got wins over ranked teams, like LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina. But
yeah, I agree.
My biggest takeaway, SMU, just because they made it to the conference finals, then they got drilled in the first half. Yeah, they did come back, but they were getting smoked by a lesser Clemson team that had, it's not like the Clemson team that we used to. But
yeah.
So what you got?
Yeah, I agree. I just think you know what? Here's my take. I think the only reason Bama didn't make it this year is I think it's the football gods. Because if you remember last year, Bama shouldn't have made it in. So this year, I think the committee was like, well, everybody's saying how we love Bama so much, we might as well just let them get a year. And I think that's what happened. I do think, and I wasn't live recording my reactions, but I will say this. At the time, I was like, SMU's going to get in over Bama. Because, like, that, Bama had the better strength of schedule, better strength of record. They played better teams. And SMU got in over them. Look, obviously, I hate Bama. Well, kind of. I mean, I don't like them, but look, obviously I don't like Bama, and I hope that they lose every game that they play, which obviously won't happen because they're Alabama. But, I mean, they're in the SEC, and SMU's from what, the Mountain West?
Yeah, that powerful Mountain West Conference, boy.
Man, like your best team there is Boise State, and if it wasn't for Ashton Jeanty, nobody would know who's on Boise State.
I think good news is coming, though. I think they will look at this, and I think they will change it next year. I think they're going to put it to where, okay, just take the top 12 teams that, the top 12 teams in the country. Just rank them for the playoffs. That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll see.
Well, next year I think they're going to 16.
Oh, they think they're going to 16, huh?
That's what people are saying, that this year they were going to go to 12, and then the year after they'll go to 16.
And so they're never going to get it right, because once you have 16, then 17 and 18 is going to be mad. Like, we should have been in, man.
All right, now let's get into Saints football finally. I'm not gonna lie, for a second I forgot we were even doing this. Let's see. All right, now let's get into Saints football as they beat obviously Clemson's number 12, but no one cares. Yeah. All right. So, Dad, who makes you want to cry in the middle of the street? I know we won, but who makes you want to cry in the middle of the street?
Woo! Who makes you want to cry in the middle of the street? Every single one of our offensive linemen.
And it was their starting offensive line too, Dad.
They look like they never started one football game in their life. I mean, we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't open a hole. We couldn't protect the passer. We looked like we were getting pushed around. I don't know. So, yeah, the offensive line, Kubiak, he always makes me want to cry in the middle of the street. Who else? Alvin Kamara doesn't look like the Alvin Kamara that we used to seeing. He made me cry a couple times today. So that's it. How about you?
Man, you know what wants to make me cry in the middle of the street?
Who's that?
First of all, Jamal freaking Williams. You know what this man was doing?
What he did?
So the first thing that pissed me off, this man he fought the first play of the game. The Giants kick it off, and this man fumbled the ball. And then picks it up, and you're running to the 14-yard line. You stupid buffoon. And then the second time, the Giants pick up so the Saints punt the ball to the Giants. Jamal Williams is on the special teams unit. And the Giants player goes out of bounds, and then you commit a personal foul. Then the third time, which really did it for me, it's 1st and 10, right? Like Jamal Williams, he should have known. Like you should have used your football IQ, which I know you don't have. How? Oh no, that actually I don't blame on him. The third actual time was actually the fake punt, where Jamal Williams literally went down to a knee on a fake punt, a yard shy of the line of the game. This dude is man, and people were like, "Why does Jamal Williams not get enough playing time?" That's why. But Dad, what's the main thing from this win?
The main thing from this Tank Bowl, it's a Tank Bowl.
No, it's not a Tank Bowl. It was the Mid Bowl.
It's a Tank Bowl. Let me tell you, both teams are eyeing that coveted #1 draft pick spot.
Hey, the Saints still got a chance.
They both tanking. Let me explain. The Giants has the ball. Yeah, we're going to score. We're going to win this game. Nope, we can't score, so we're going to kick this field goal and go into overtime. And Graham Gano said, you know what? I want this #1 draft pick. So I'm going to kick it straight into the line. Not even trying to hide it. Both teams wanted to lose this game. That's the main thing for me.
Yeah, bro. I ain't even going to lie to you, bro. Did you see Drew Lock play? You saw that guy?
Not really. I mean, Drew Lock. Let's see.
That man was 0 for 8 through his first 8 passes.
He ended the game 21 for 49. So if you're good at math, I don't know if you're good in math, but that's not good. That's not a good percentage. Yeah, I mean, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So no, I didn't see him play today. I did see him try to run for a first down and took a right and got short of the first down. I was like, that figures. That's tank job. They couldn't even hide it today. They was trying to tank. Right?
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, the Saints though, man, they had every opportunity to blow the Giants out, but they were like, "Nah, man." But yeah.
Let me give you some good news for all you Saints fans that want the Saints to tank, to lose all the games so we can get a high draft pick. Let me give you some good news. Jake Haener. We ain't winning no more games, bro. We're getting blown out our next 2 games, right? Against the Redskins and the Packers.
Yeah.
Jake Haener.
Yeah. Is Derek Carr playing next week?
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, he left holding his hand. They left. I don't know if you was listening to the broadcast, but they talking about he may have a concussion too. So that's automatic week. That.
Could you just imagine Jake Haener having the best game of his career next week?
No, I can't imagine it.
But yeah, Derek Carr though was 20 for 31, 219 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. However, we got to talk about these referees, man. The referees screwed us out of a touchdown.
Which one?
The one where Demario Davis intercepted. That brother in Christ is not touched.
You talking about when he faked him, like he went down, then he got up, he's running over the sideline, and all the Giants are headed to the other sideline, and he turns it up and scores.
Yes.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Lay off that.
Man, that brother in Christ is not down, and I will fight that till the end of me. That should have been a TD. We should have not even had the Giants shouldn't even have had a chance to send this game to overtime, man. But yeah, but Kamara, I don't know what this man was doing. 17 carries, 44 yards. This man had like 5 plays where he went backwards. Dad, 5, maybe even 6. Kamara couldn't get a yard to save his life on some plays. But yeah, man. Anyways, there's not really much to say, man. But Kendrick Miller, 10 carries, 32 yards, and touchdown. That was a crazy touchdown, dude. Man, when everybody was pushing. But yeah, Derek Carr, 2 carries for 12 yards, and on one of the carries, he may have ended his career. Jamal Williams, the trash Jamal Williams, 3 carries for 5 yards. And ironically, the 5 yards he got today might have been his career high since joining the Saints. Jake Haener, 1 carry on -1 yards, which obviously was Daniil. Receiving wise, MVS, first game with the Saints. It doesn't get into the end zone, but still a decent day. 4 for 51. Juwan Johnson, 4 for 50 in the touchdown. Jerry says Brees MVP. I mean, if that's what you want to call it. Foster Moreau, 2 for 40. Kamara, 5 for 35. Cedric Wilson, 1 for 18. Jamal Williams, being trash as he is, 2 for 10. Dalen Holker caught his first pass of his career, I think. 1 catch for 10 yards. And Kevin Austin, 1 for 5. So, Dad, what's your take off of these receivers?
Garbage. That's what my take is. I mean, MVS had 4 catches for 51 yards. No other receiver had more than 1 catch. I mean, where are these
That's not
receivers
true. That's not true.
That is true. I'm looking at
No. Juwan Johnson had 4 catches. Moreau had 2
the
catches.
tight end. Foster Moreau's the tight end.
You said receivers. My bad.
WR. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guys out wide that need to stretch the field. Nothing. We're not getting no production from them.
Oh, yeah. MVS had 4. Cedric Wilson had 1. Austin had 1. And Pettis had none. Saints win and Falcons lost. It's a great day. Yes, it is, Jerry. Man, they lost to the Vikings, Dad.
They did.
At least we can say whenever we lose to Minnesota, yeah, it's always in heartbreak fashion, but at least we can say we at least make the game watchable for the other eye. And if you weren't a Falcons or a Vikings, or my fault, Falcons or Vikings fan, you don't want to watch that. Shoot, even Falcon fans didn't want to watch that. Man, honestly, now I kind of wish that the Saints game was on at a different time so I could watch the Falcons lose. Never mind, because nobody would want to watch the Saints Giants game either. Anyways, let's look at our defense, who was definitely the cornerstone of our game. Ugo Amadi had 6 tackles and 2 assists. Demario Davis, 5 tackles, 3 assists, and an interception. Will Harris had 5 tackles and 1 assist. Pete Werner, 5 tackles, 1 assist. Colin Saunders, 4 tackles, 1 assist, and a sack. Kool-Aid McKinstry, 4 tackles. Kool-Aid had a great game. This was like the first time I actually rooted for an Alabama player to beat an LSU player, if you know what I mean. Carl Granderson, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Alontae Taylor, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Nathan Shepard, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Brian Brees, 1 tackle, and a sack. Payne Turner had 1 tackle. Jordan Howden had 1 tackle. Isaiah Foskey had 1 assist. Tyrann Mathieu with 1 assist. Chase Young with 1 assist. Cameron Jordan had 1 assist. And John Ridgway had 1 assist. So what's your take out of this defense?
I don't know if it was our defense or we were just playing the worst offense that's ever been made.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Like you said, Drew Lock went 0 for his first 7 or 8 passes.
0 for 8.
Then he completed a couple. Then he went, another 8 in a row in completions. I mean, it was god awful. Their offensive line is god awful. It makes ours look like, the greatest offensive line ever. They couldn't pass the ball. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect the passer. So I don't know how good our defense played. Actually, we was just playing straight up poop.
Yeah, bro, man. But yeah, man, when I tell you, bro, like literally, it got so bad that Drew Lock's completion to pass attempt ratio was literally the Giants' record. At one point in the game, he was 2 for 11. Bruh, man, the Giants are cooked. Man, the fact that if the Giants get the number one pick, what do you think they do? Do they get a good quarterback, or do they get Travis Hunter to be a number 2 receiver next to Malik Neighbors, and maybe even be a number 1 corner for their team?
They passed on a quarterback last year's draft and got Neighbors to help Daniel Jones out. Well, now they done ripped up that playbook, and now you got Malik Neighbors there. So this time in the draft, you think they would learn from that and they will get their franchise quarterback straight. But they are the Giants, so we'll see how they mess this up.
Yeah, but now I have a question for you, because that actually brings me to another point. I know we're all over everything else except for the Saints, it feels like, this show. We're all over college football today. Who do you think's winning the Heisman? Is it Travis Hunter or an Ashton Jeanty? Now, before you answer this, let me just give you the thing. So, Travis Hunter, a lot of people are arguing he should be the Heisman because he plays both positions, and he plays them so well. However, the Ashton Jeanty fanboys are saying how it should be Jeanty, because Jeanty might be the best running back, but Travis Hunter's not the best receiver or DB in the country. So who do you think should win the Heisman?
I think Travis Hunter should win the Heisman because he plays both positions so great. Other people have tried to play both positions like him. They can't come close. Yeah, he can be a first pick in the draft at either wide receiver or cornerback. Well, they don't pick cornerbacks that high, but they may pick him that high if he was just a cornerback. And Jeanty, I mean, he does have a lot of yards, running against people like me, slow people like me. So I'm not too impressed with that. So give Travis Hunter the Heisman. He deserves it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, because Ashton Jeanty, people were like, oh, he got 200 yards.
Against who?
Who does Boise State play?
Boise? I mean, well, he plays for Boise, right?
Dad, the only thing cool about Boise State is the color of their field.
You like that blue field, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool field. That's the only thing cool about Boise State. Man, Ashton Jeanty, if he does not have 200 yards in the playoffs, don't talk to me about Heisman. But yeah, anyways, let's get back on the Saints topic. Kendre Miller had 1 kick return for 31 yards. Jamal Williams 1 for 16. Terrible. Yeah, and kicking Blake Grupe. I don't know what that man was doing. Over 2, scored 2 points. I mean, I can't blame him for that 60-yarder. 1, it's a 60-yarder. 2, there was wind. 3, it was blocked. Maybe it's because of the wind. Maybe because I did see the flag moving by the goalpost.
Maybe because it's the tank bowl.
Maybe.
I mean, he's so good all year long. Now all of a sudden, we have to lose some games. He can't make a field goal. I don't know.
Yeah. Matthew Hayball, 7 punts, 292 yards, 2 inside the 20. However, Dan Rizzi must not be playing in the tank bowl because he ripped on Matthew Hayball. You saw that?
Yeah. Yep. You know why?
Yeah, but why?
Because as the punter, you're supposed to be the last line of defense. So you're supposed to stay in your lane. He didn't stay in his lane. He went to try to be a hero. He's way over here somewhere, and the guy reversed his field and scored a touchdown. Luckily, there was a penalty, or Rizzi might have punched him in the face.
Rizzy might have punched him in the face.
I mean, he yelled at him like he just gave up a touchdown. But Rizzy, it's coming back, dude. Calm down. Your blood pressure too high. Calm down.
I mean, do you think he? Okay. Do you think he yelled at him? Because okay.
Like a little boy.
All right. Do you think he yelled at him before he knew it was coming back, or do you think he already saw, or do you think that was after the flag?
I knew it was coming back at that point.
I mean, he might have not been paying attention to the ref. He might have been just focused on yelling at the man.
Maybe so. Maybe he cursed them out in every kind of language he could think of, and then Alvin Kamara came over and said, "Hey, coach, they brought it back." He's like, "Oh, okay, good."
Yeah,
maybe that happened.
Now let's talk about this trash can, Drew Lock, bro.
What you called him, a trash can?
He is, bro. He might be, yeah, bro. He might be one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. This brother in Christ decided that he was going to be just throwing balls to the dirt all game. 21 for 49. That's like what, 30 incompletions? All right, 31, 41. That's hold on. Let me pull out the calculator because now my brain's hurting. Hold on. Hold on. We got the 49 minus the 21. 28 incompletions, which also includes the interception, which, like I said, should have been a pick six. But yeah, 21 for 49, 227, and a pick. Didn't get 100 yards like the fourth quarter, I think. Drew Lock, though, 5 carries for 59 yards, and he almost won the game for the Giants with his legs. But yeah, thankfully Graham Gano knew the assignment. Because look, I'm still not rooting for a tank. I'm sorry. Until the Saints are fully eliminated, I'm not rooting for a tank. I'm gonna root for them to beat Washington next week. Unless the Saints are 100% eliminated from the playoffs, I ain't rooting for no tank. Because if you still have a chance, I don't care how low the percentage is. If you still have a chance to make the playoffs, go try to make the playoffs. But yeah. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 16 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. And Devin Singletary had 2 carries for 8 yards. Because the only time I've watched Saints football and we were eliminated before Week 18 was 2022, when we got eliminated after Week 17. And that Panthers game, I remember that was a more of a tank bowl. If you remember that Saints Panthers Week 18 game a couple years ago, that was more of a tank bowl than this game. So, yeah. But anyways, Giants receiving Malik Neighbors. A quiet game until the fourth quarter came, where Neighbors started tearing up our DBs, especially Kool-Aid. But Kool-Aid had that ball on lockdown. 5 catches for 79 yards. Daniel Bellinger in an okay game, 5 for 45. Tyrone Tracy, 5 for 38. Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 for 38. Darius Lane, 2 for 27. So, Dad, what's your take on the Saints' defense against these sorry receivers other than Neighbors?
My take on what? The Giants receivers?
Yes.
Other than Neighbors, they don't have anything. I mean, they don't have no star power, running backs, tight ends, receivers. They need a lot. Them poor Giants, they need a lot.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. Man, look, the Giants, bro. Man, their fan base is about to lose it. Now we look at the Giants' defense. Michael McFadden, 8 tackles, 3 assists. Darius Muasu, 7 tackles, 1 assist. He was tackling everybody. Trey Hawkins, the third, 4 tackles, 2 assists, and an interception around the end of the third quarter. Tyler Nubin, who did get hurt during the game, but he came back, got 4 tackles, 1 assist. Jason Pinnock, 2 tackles, 4 assists. Brian Burns got 2 tackles and 2 assists. Kayvon Thibodeau. Oh, Brian Burns also got a sack. So, yeah. You remember that name, Dad?
I remember them saying it, and I thought it was familiar.
He was the best player for the Panthers defense.
Oh, okay.
And then he got traded this past offseason because they couldn't strike a deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
I was super glad when they traded him, bro. But yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau, 2 tackles, 1 assist, and a sack. Corey Durden had 2 tackles and 1 assist. Isaiah Simmons, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Adoree Jackson, 2 tackles, 1 assist. But Greg Stroman Jr., 2 tackles. He needs a game ball. Do you know why?
Why?
Without him, we don't win. If he's not holding the touchdown Rams defense, pick 6. Okay, that's nice. If he's not holding, that wasn't even on defense. That was something long. Okay. But if he's not holding Rico Payton, that's a touchdown. So we need to get him a freaking game ball. Send him food. Send him food. Send him flowers. Oh, that was actually a blocked punt. That's nice. All right. Send him food. Send him flowers. Send him wine. I don't care. Send him everything. Man, send him a birthday card. Man. Send him some Christmas presents because Christmas is right around the corner. So send him some Christmas cards, Christmas letters. I don't care what you do. Just make sure he gets something for that excellent play he did. Dane Belton, 1 tackle, 4 assists. Elijah Garcia, 1 tackle, 4 assists. Elijah Chapman, 1 tackle, 2 assists. And Jordan Riley had 1 tackle. Patrick Johnson, 1 assist. And Art Green, 1 assist. Their kick return, Eamer Smith-Marset, 2 returns for 49 yards. Punt return, Eamer Smith-Marset, 5 for 46, and also had a touchdown that did get called back. And kicking, Graham Gano was 1 for 2, 50%, long as the 43-yard, and scored 3 points. Now we look at the team stats. Saints, 292 total yards, 200 passing, 92 rushing, 4.4 yards per play, not good whatsoever. 18 first downs, 5 for 15 on third downs, 0 for 1 on fourth downs, 66 total plays, 2 sacks allowed, 7 punts, 6 penalties for 40 yards, 1 interception thrown, 31 minutes, 49 seconds of the ball inside of MetLife Stadium. Or MetLife Stadium. I don't know why I said MetLife. Giants, 325 total yards, 213 passing, 112 rushing, 4.4 yards per play, 16 first downs, 5 for 19 on third downs, 2 for 4 on fourth downs, 74 total plays, 2 sacks allowed, 8 punts, 12 penalties for 112 yards, 1 interception thrown, and 28 minutes and 11 seconds of time of possession. That I hope the Saints know that they didn't play nobody. If they would have, I hope the Saints know that they only played well enough to beat the Giants. Because they did not play good enough to beat anybody else. Maybe Jacksonville or Tennessee. Maybe if you played one of them. Maybe New England as well. But those are like the only teams I could see you pulling out a win. So, do you have any take on that?
I'll say you're right. And I say I was thinking the same thing. Good thing we're playing the Giants. Because any other team, they'd probably be beating us 30-something to 14.
So I don't even know we get to 14 if we're playing anybody else today. But yeah, and apparently this was a quote from Malik Neighbors. I didn't pay for the plane. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Malik Neighbors on the plane flying over MetLife asking John Mara to fix the dumpster fire. I don't know if that was really from Neighbors or somebody spoken out fun. I don't know, but yeah. But now I'm going to read you some stuff that's going over the internet. So apparently the song did happen to the plane. So some did happen with the plane. So someone else said, in the search for who paid for the plane that flew over the Meadowlands before today's game, we can officially eliminate Giants rookie receiver Malik Neighbors. Apparently something happened with the plane, I guess. I don't know. But Darren Rizzi did say something on Brian Brees. Do you want to hear this quote?
Sure.
So he says, I feel like his best football is still out there, and you see these flashes from brilliance from the player. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, he's still a young player. He's got a lot of future ahead of him. It's hard to give a whole lot of compliments to people that on a 5-8 football team, but here we are.
Yeah, but you know what's funny though? If we do not trade Sean, if Sean Payton would have came back to the Saints, we don't draft Brian Brzee.
You don't think so?
No, because we wouldn't have a first round pick. Because remember, we traded for a first round pick to get Brzee when we traded Sean Payton. So
Right.
we used the pick we got. So yeah, and Brian Brzee, there was no way in God's earth that he would have fell to the second round. We would have had to trade up again, and I don't think we would have done that. But yeah, Dan Rizzi also said Alvin Kamara. This is actually an incident. So Dan Rizzi said Alvin Kamara was trying to play the peacemaker during the exchange between him and Hayball. So he said Kamara told him, Kamara told Darren, I didn't know you could lose your shit like that on the punter. Said he was being a leader. That's apparently what Kamara told him. But yeah. So Brian Brzee, number 90 of New Orleans, #Saints celebrates after blocking a field goal attempt by the Giants. Okay, well, yeah, that's something. But Darren Rizzi said this on the block field goal. He said it's something the Saints put in this week called the Brian Brzee's block phenomenal. So apparently that was actually a designed play for Brian Brzee to get the block. Phenomenal. It was a Brian Brzee's block phenomenal. So wow, so that was actually a designed play, and Bills get the touchdown. But yeah, so that was actually a designed play to block the kick. So
sounds good. Let's do more design plays in the future. How about that?
Yeah.
Can we do that, please?
I hope.
Pretty please.
Yeah. And someone also said that the insane losses by the Jets and Giants bode well for the New York City teams come draft time. Yeah, I think the Jets just got eliminated from playoff contention with their loss to Miami. So, in that overtime game. But yeah, man, checking in on New York football. Yeah, it's not going well for them. Going well for me, though. Darren Rizzi said Derek Carr's left hand is being evaluated for injury, not his right, as was announced during the game. So it's not his right hand, apparently it's his left hand. Like I said, I couldn't hear it because I was live streaming. But by the way, Dad, do you know I announcer jinxed Graham Gano on that final kick?
Did you really?
Yeah, because when he was coming out, I was like, you know what I'm doing? Graham Gano, who hasn't missed a lot of field goals yet, who hasn't missed a field goal yet today, coming out here to most likely tie this game, and then he got blocked. Man, that was crazy. That was like the first time I actually did that on stream. But yeah, Darren Rizzi. Okay, well, okay. But yeah, he's also being evaluated for a concussion. Darren Rizzi on his exchange with Matt Hayball during the game, he wasn't executing the game plan. Yeah, I have one question. Why is Darren Rizzi so terrible? I mean, no, not Darren Rizzi, Matthew Hayball. Why is Matthew Hayball so terrible?
He just wasn't blessed by God with a great leg. I don't know. So you can't really blame Matt Hayball. He really should be, in another line of work, maybe. Just do something else.
Why did he not go to church every Sunday?
He might have. That's why he, no talent in the NFL because he prayed a lot.
Okay. All right. But now someone put out a list. So these are the most receiving yards per game for rookie wide receivers. Number 1, you had Odell Beckham with 109 in one point in time in his rookie year. Number 2 is Justin Jefferson with 88. Number 3, Puka Nacua, 87, which just obviously happened last year. Number 4 was Anquan Bolden with 86. Number 5, Jamar Chase with 86. Number 6 was Randy Moss with 82. Number 7, former Saint Michael Thomas with 76 yards his rookie year. Number 8 was Terry Glenn with 76. But now at number 9, you got Malik Neighbors with 74. Well, 79, I think he meant to say. But he did that on a 2-11 team without a quarterback. Ain't that crazy?
Yep.
Man, Malik Neighbors is a dog, bro. He a freaking dog, man.
Oof.
Yeah. I was sad seeing him leave LSU, but I knew he wasn't going to be at LSU for his whole life. Unless he was just a bad student, but I don't think he was. But yeah, Darren Ruzzi said Derek Carr may be in concussion protocol. Carr also injured his left hand Sunday, so that's nice, I guess. Darren Ruzzi says Derek. Okay, what is it with everybody just saying the same thing? All right, but yeah, all right, but yeah. Saints coach just let out a wrath on punter Matthew Hayball, and do you think that wrath was warranted? Because I'm not gonna lie, I 100% agree with what Ruzzi did.
Since I don't know the particulars, I don't know how to feel about that.
And honestly, if I was there, Rizzy, I would have probably I would have cut all of his legs off. So I had an excuse to cut him.
What I would say is, Darren Rizzi, keep that same energy, my dude. Keep that same energy when somebody misses a tackle. How about that? Keep that same energy when your boy throw an interception. How about that?
I mean, I think he does for the most part, because there's been a lot of times, even when it has nothing to do with pun, where Darren Rizzi yells at somebody. Whenever a flag comes out, whenever Derek Carr misses a throw, Darren Rizzi be the first one yelling.
Well, again, it looked like does Darren Rizzi ever look like he about to punch someone in the face?
No,
I haven't seen that yet, except on the punter.
I mean, he looked like he was about to eat the ref.
Yeah, I mean, he was about to have a little breakfast there. You know.
Yeah. But Derek Carr got injured, and Jake Haener entered late, where he completed 0 passes. If we would have lost this game, I would have killed somebody. Like, what? But Dad, on a level of 1 to 1,000, how confident are you that Jake Haener, if he has to play next week, can beat Washington?
1 to 1,000?
Yeah.
About 10.
Okay.
Usually 10's good, but it's not good when you say 1 to 1,000. So.
Okay, how about this? A 1 to 10?
I give him a. It's at home, so might have a fighting chance. So I give him a 4.
All right. I mean, hey, Cooper Rush did beat Washington. And Cooper Rush, before that game, he was playing horrible. So I guess anything's possible. Where's Kevin Garnett when you need him? Everything or anything's possible. But anyways, Brian Brees blocks a game-time field goal in their 14-11 victory. Man, how great was that play? Like, I'm not saying we're gonna make the playoffs, but if the Saints make the playoffs, what would you tell Brian Brees to his face?
If the Saints make the playoffs?
If the Saints make the playoffs off of that blocked kick, what would you want to tell him to his face?
Nice block kick back in the Giant game.
But Dad, you gotta think about it. If we make the playoffs because of his blocked kick by 1 game, if that kick goes in and they beat us in overtime, we don't make the playoffs. We're probably not gonna make it anyways. But if we don't make the playoffs, let me just shut up. Because now I'm confusing myself.
No, I would tell him.
Who do you think is the Saints?
I would tell him simply, "You must be Jesus Christ, because that was a miracle. You're in the playoffs. It's a miracle."
Yeah. All right, but who do you think was the Saints player of the game? There wasn't many, but who do you think was?
Saints player of the game, I would give it to I'm struggling with this dude's name. Was it Kendrick Miller?
Kendrick Miller.
Kendrick Miller for scoring a touchdown and showing some good power. Keep those feet moving, Big Miller. Keep them moving.
Okay. I mean, mine is obviously Brian Brzee because he won us the game at the end. But fun fact on that Kendrick Miller touchdown, that capped off a 98-yard touchdown drive. We literally went from end zone to end zone. And fun fact, that was the longest drive for the Saints, the longest touchdown drive ever since September 11th, 2016 versus the Raiders, which obviously was also 9-11. But yeah, 9-11-16 against the Raiders in a game where the Raiders beat us off of a game-winning 2-point conversion. But yeah, so that was the longest drive I've ever seen the Saints done do. But who do you think was the player of the game for the Giants?
It has to be Malik Neighbors. He made a few plays, considering the bad quarterback that he's dealt with and the bad coaching staff. So, yeah, give me Malik Neighbors from LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give it to Neighbors because he had a quiet first half. Second half, he turned it around. But Trey Hawkins, we got to talk about this man, bro. I'm not going to lie, I did not know who Trey Hawkins was. But he played against the Saints, and boy, did he show out. Got that interception. So I'm just saying. But yeah, Derek Carr got injured. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Michael McFadden, though, a clutch TFL versus Kendrick Miller, which forced the Saints to punt late in the fourth quarter. But the Brian Brzee got that block to win this game. But the Giants' miserable season continues with scathing message to John Mayer following by H.J. Lazo. I don't know what the message was. Hopefully it wasn't anything violent. But Derek Carr had a beautiful connection with Juwan Johnson for an 11-yard touchdown, extending the Saints lead over the Giants, but then he got hurt, so hopefully he'll be back next week. But yeah, the Giants, or Gano's time field goal got blocked, man. That's all people are talking about, feels like. But yeah. The Saints game, though, proves that the Giants assembled historically bad quarterback room. It got so bad that they put in Tommy DeVito just to hand the ball off.
I don't understand what was going on there. I mean, I thought they made a quarterback change, but only for one play.
The fact is, they didn't even trust Drew Lock to hand the ball off. I don't know if they try to confuse our defense because they're like, oh, they put in a new quarterback, so that means that Tommy DeVito's going to let one rip. I don't know if that was their game plan, but it didn't work. Plus, it takes time off the clock because then you have to rush Drew Lock back onto the field and stuff. I don't know. Who do you think you are? Taysom Hill? May he get better. But yeah. New York Giants find another way to lose with a blocked field goal. Man, but yeah. However, Drew Lock, though, there was one play in the game where it was like, I think before the half, might have been, where it was like third down, and he had a clear first down. But then he kind of swerved, and he didn't get the first. And that was weird. Like, why would you just go get the first? Maybe it's because of that tank bowl method.
It's a tank job, bro. They wasn't even hiding it today.
Yeah. Drew Lock, bro, that kid is... Bro, I'm not going to lie. Drew Lock, I thought he was wearing black and gold for a second because he was helping us out more than Derek Carr was. Like, dang, bro. But yeah. But Dad, I want you to list 3 things that you learned over the Saints' nail-biting victory. What are 3 things you learned if you learned 3 things? You can just say 1 or 2.
Some things I learned not to get my hopes up for the rest of the season. A lot of reasons. This team had almost no juice today. I mean, they didn't have good body language. It really looked like they were trying to end their season early. I mean, they just can't wait for the offseason. That's what it looked like for most of this game. So that's, one thing I've learned. I don't know. And another thing I learned is that we have no playmakers on the outside. Like I said, Scanley had 4 receptions. The other wide receivers had, a couple of them had 1 reception, and that was it. The rest of the catches were made by tight ends and running backs. So we need more wide receiver depth, or we need to get our players back from injury, which will be next year, right?
I mean, is Chris Olave coming back yet?
I don't know. I gotta look into that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I learned today.
Well, you know what I learned? I learned that the Saints can only beat bad teams. Because every time the Saints play a good team, they always crap their pants. But every time they play a bad team, they just find ways to win. That's just crazy. And that's really all I learned. I mean, I also learned that they wouldn't have beat anybody other than the Giants. Yeah. Let's see. So the Saints Assembly aren't committing to. So yeah, Olave might be out for the season. I don't know yet. But yeah. But fun facts: Trey Hawkins with that interception that snaps the historic drought for the Giants as they grab their team's first interception since week 1. And you know why?
Wow.
That's because they were playing the Saints. I told you, man, every time you play the Saints, a historic record will be broken. Even when we win, that still happens. But yeah, Giants just lost their 8th game in a row. Dad, do you have any words for Giants fans? Like who they should be rooting for or what they should be looking into?
Well, they have actually been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, so they're definitely not looking at the playoffs. Y'all need to be looking at this offseason, trying to find y'all a good coach. Man, we in that position too. Trying to find y'all a good quarterback. We're in that position too. Trying to find y'all some good, explosive players. And, we have some that are hurt, but we're always looking for explosive players. And might need to replace Taysom Hill next year because he's coming off a catastrophic injury and he's 35 years old. Might be the end of the line for our Swiss Army knife.
Yep. Yeah, but Dad, do you have anything else to say?
The only thing that comes to mind is a question to you. Okay. Do you think which probably will be, that Derek Carr missed next week, do you say we stay with Haener or are we going to Rattler just to see what he can do for a couple weeks?
I think we're going with Rattler. Because it's just like what happened earlier this season, right? Where Derek Carr gets hurt and Rattler, who in my opinion has been more impressive than Jake Haener, I should say. Because if you notice, with Jake Haener, every time he gets into the game, obviously you have a couple incidents where it's like the Chargers game. It's like we're losing, so we got to throw the ball. Or the Denver game, we're losing, so we got to throw the ball. But every time we're winning, we don't trust Jake Haener with the ball. And I understand why. Because on 2nd and 9, you cannot take a sack. That's the last thing you got to do. So I think it's going to be Spencer Rattler. Jake Haener, he's just going to be a career backup, all right? Jake Haener, I don't trust him. I think we're going with Rattler. That's just my opinion. I think Rattler's been more impressive this season, and he's a rookie. So I'd rather get our rookie some shine. Because I feel like if there's one quarterback on this team that gives us the better chance to win, if Derek Carr is not playing, I think it's going to be Rattler. But Dad, do you have any? Dad, I want you to answer the question. Do you want us to go with Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler if Derek Carr is a no-go?
I think Rattler, just to see, if he's going to be around for the future, and to know if we need to find another quarterback in the draft that, if we don't have one of those top picks to be a franchise quarterback, or we're going to need another mid-round to late round pick for a backup.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dad, do you got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, Dad, where can they find you?
You'll find me at Warren Newby YouTube channel and on the Hurricane Mike Show every week, 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a week. Never know.
Yep. Yeah, guys. By the way, sorry we couldn't do the pregame show earlier. It's just that, one, stuff going on. 2, I've been sick, so I was trying to save my voice, and I was only going to do 2 streams today instead of 3. But anyways, enough of that. Yeah, you can always find me here at the Hurricane Mike Show, where the 49ers are about to go up 28-0 on the Bears. They suck. So yeah, you can always find me here at Hurricane Mike. But that we're gonna leave them with who dat, and especially today. Don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcon fan. Who dat?
Man, they lost 42-21 to Sammy D.
They suck, Herb.